Now live from Studio 550, it's McGraw in the Morning on the Big 550 KTRS.
8:53, Big 550 KTRS. Our good friend Charles D'Angelo is with us. Charles, I've been working with you 3+ years.
That's correct.
You are a weight loss coach. That's what you call yourself, but you're much more than just a weight loss coach. You're also a confidant and a friend. We'd love to have you on the show at least once a month to talk about all things related to health. First of all, let's talk about your trials and tribulations. You've been on the doctors now semi-regularly, haven't you?
Yes, I go out there all the time and contribute, share my client success. Recently, they profiled the clients I worked with last year, many of whom had lost over 100 pounds each. And the total lost combined between all the clients I'd worked with was computed to be over 15,000 pounds in a year. Most importantly, and what I really feel passionate about is not so much the number on the scale, but what that meant for those people's health, and that their doctors were able to eliminate their blood pressure medications. The doctor was able to eliminate their diabetic medications in many cases. So much can be done for one's health when a person steps up and they stop listening to that internal track of negativity about why they can't succeed and all this excuse BS that they keep telling themselves about why they can't have their life the way they want it.
7.5 tons you've helped people
That's
lose.
right, yeah, and that was 1 year. And you lost a huge percentage of it.
That wasn't that funny. I didn't find that amusing.
Andrew enjoyed that.
Your book, Think and Grow Thin. How's
It's available
that doing?
everywhere. It's doing really, really well. And what's really moving about that is that so many people contact me that have never even met me. I was in the airport recently, and I was at the wherever that is, a ticket scan thing where you can print your boarding pass before going on. And some man comes up and he puts his driver's license in front of my face. I don't know who he is, and I don't know what the heck's going on. And he says, "Look at this." I'm thinking, oh, my gosh, who is this? And I look up, and I don't know who he is. And he goes, 80 pounds lighter. And I never met this man. And it was because he purchased my book and did the program. He said nothing had worked for him before, not until he really learned how to change his mindset. I talk about this in the sense of a three-legged stool. Of course, healthy eating is part of it. Of course, regular exercise is part of it. But the third leg, and what's missing and everything else that's out there, and what I work with people on, is changing the way you think about yourself, about food, and about exercise, so that this becomes as basic as hygiene to you.
We were talking off the air, and it was really funny about how we talk ourselves out of working out. We talk ourselves out of
eating right.
Out of eating right. And I'll start January 1st.
Absolutely.
And, I'll work out tomorrow. I'll have the big pizza today.
Sure.
And it is amazing to me how you get me to now eating healthy is actually enjoyable. And working out is actually enjoyable. So you've taken me from, oh, my goodness, I don't want to do this, to, oh, my God, oh, my goodness, I have to do this or I'll feel bad.
The first thing you can do is get excited about your future. And that goes back to what I was speaking on about changing that internal dialogue you have. So many people are defeated before they even take their feet out of bed in the morning because they don't believe it's possible for them to change. So what I spend my life doing is showing people dramatic examples of what's possible when you really take responsibility for your life. And that brings about a lot of fear in people because they feel that, what do you mean? It's my fault I'm fat? You're right. Yes, it is your fault you're fat. It's your choice, and you can change it. And I can say that candidly, not to be rude, not to be mean, but because I was 360 pounds, and I've been there. It wasn't because of the chaos I grew up around. It wasn't because I didn't know what to do. All the data is out there, but you have to step up, and you have to take responsibility to change the way you think about food and exercise, and becoming so clear on what's possible for yourself and thinking, oh, my gosh, I'm 300 pounds, or I'm 250 pounds, or I'm 400 pounds, and I can lose 200 pounds, and most importantly, get off of all these darn medications I've been on. How exciting that is for people when they see it's possible.
It's also interesting, the safety, I call it a safety net, if you will, that when I'm with you, and I've been afraid to go see Charles D'Angelo, because I know I've been cheating and I've been bad.
Well, because I care.
Right.
The reality is everyone I work with, I have a relationship with. And I don't let you down, and I expect you don't let me down.
And what's interesting is I saw somebody talk about a weight loss program, and they said, no tedious weigh-ins. I'm like, well, that's the whole point.
If there's no accountability, how the heck are you going to be successful? Or
by my program, I won't check to see if you're cheating. That doesn't really work that way.
And there's in many of these things, again, the idea is diet until get to where you want to be, and then go back to your old habits. And you simply can't do that.
Yeah.
This is a journey without a finish line. And when people start to think about it as having a finish line, that's when they get into problems.
It's a really interesting mental makeup and all that. But I think going in and being weighed by you on a semi-regular basis, once a month, once every 2 weeks, is a safety net. And so I'm there on a Saturday night, and I know that I can't eat, double cheese pizza because I know
you have a weigh-in.
I have a weigh-in, and
Absolutely.
then there's a safety net there.
Having
and there's
a coach
actually,
is huge.
Yeah, and it's actually very satisfying
and reassuring
to know that, hey, you know what? I can't do this because of X, Y, and Z. It's actually
you made a commitment, an agreement.
Yeah. It's a really interesting mental game you play with.
And you know what's really cool is that someone that has felt that they failed in the past makes the agreement with me, and they see themselves becoming successful, and they experience the success, and then that generalizes, and all of a sudden I have a client that never approached a person of the opposite sex or of the same sex for that matter, and for the first time ever, they're putting themselves out there again, they're dating, they're going for jobs that they always wanted but they never had the confidence to go for.
Right.
All these things are impacted by the way you feel about yourself. So when you take charge of that, everything changes.
All right, Charles, we are out of time. I got 20 seconds. How do people get a hold of you?
Go to the website, charlesdangelo.com. That's charlesdangelo.com, and look at all the videos, or you can call my office directly. It's 314-495-3228, but charlesdangelo.com has so many videos that will inspire you and move you and show you that anything you want to do is possible.